right, happy Friday, everybody. Pew, pew, pew. Hope everybody's doing well today. Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip. It is Friday. I'm feeling good. I got energy today. Yesterday, Thursday. That's the day that comes before Friday. I was supposed to have my golf league, but I'll tell you, it got canceled. It got rained out. But who cares? We got the weekend. Plenty of time for all your favorite activities. It's coming, guys. You're right here. And in the meantime, it's still the work day. You're still working. Maybe you're taking lunch right now. Maybe you're just twiddling your thumbs and watching some crypto YouTube. And if that's the case, well, twiddle your thumbs right down to the like button. Did you like that? Did you like that transition? I liked it a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. Welcome back, guys. Yes, do me a favor. Tap that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Yeah, I've got a couple things to talk to you guys about today. We're going to look at some of the news stories going on with tariffs right now. We're going to take a peek at the Trump memecoin token unlock, which just happened. And we're going to take a peek at the price action on that Trump memecoin. We're going to take a look at another world leader in a memecoin rug pull that was executed the other day, yesterday. We're going to take a look at kind of the future for crypto, some of the big predictions that some of the major players in the space are bringing to the table, and some secret agendas that are going on behind the scenes with the world governments, sovereign wealth funds, some secrets that I want to spill the beans on for you there today. We're also going to talk about some of the bad things, like a major crypto exchange getting shut down for what? Oh, money laundering. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, federal interest rate cuts, and if Trump can actually fire the Fed. And that's where the thumbnail is. We're going to kind of get to that at the end, talk a little bit about that towards the end of the video, the theme of the thumbnail. But there is some very bullish things happening. Despite the short term and the potential dips, there are some very bullish things happening, guys, and I need you to pay attention. So buckle up. As I said on X today, buckle up, buckaroo, and let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. Let me share my screen here. Go ahead and jump on in, share the screen. Beautiful. All right, so today we've got Bitcoin coming in at 84,400, which is just about the same as it's been for the last 4,000 years. Isn't that what it feels like, though? It does feel that way, guys. Bitcoin's been stuck at these price levels for a while. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my daughter's screaming outside my door right now, just struggling to go down for her nap. Totally okay. Totally okay. So Bitcoin's down to $84,400. You've got Ethereum sitting still around $1,500. XRP trickling a little closer down to the $2 price level. In general, with crypto, we're just at a pause. We're at a standstill with a slight tick up for Bitcoin dominance still. Generally, today, not breaching 64%. We were above 64% yesterday, but we're still headed in the upward direction for Bitcoin dominance, which means altcoin weakness. Still the case. Still a lot of altcoin weakness. So something that, we have to be prepared for is if this total market cap, which today is dancing right around this very critical level, has a weekly candle close in the red, well, then we could see total market cap trickle back down to $2.44 trillion. Maybe even down to $2.14 trillion. These are all possible scenarios that you guys need to be aware of. And I'm, on the thumbnail, I have very bullish. There are some very bullish things that I'm going to discuss with you in this video. But again, in the short term, if total market cap is slipping and we're seeing things head down a little bit, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry. All right, we're my daughter's having a problem. She's okay. She's just a grump today. Sorry about that, folks. Thank you for your patience. So anyway, I am nervous that we are going to be slipping down in the short term to these lower levels, which means very big discounts continuing still. And then some of the Fed news would kind of indicate that, yes, we are probably going to be slipping a little bit lower before we do resume higher. That's my opinion. And that's kind of what I think we should all be expecting right now. I think. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. I realize that my screen sharing capabilities just went away. Let me reshare that. But anyway, that's kind of where my mind is at. So, not really surprising that, we've got a couple coins coming up today. Got a couple coins coming down today. Fartcoin slipping down a little bit. Below $1 billion. Will Fartcoin ever resume above $1 billion? Maybe. It's wild. This is the world we live in. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Let's talk a little bit about just some of the general news to kind of kick this thing off. Powell made it clear that the Fed is not going to rescue the markets. So what some people have been discussing lately is the possibility of a Fed put. Can the Fed actually lower the interest rate in an effort to save the market? Will the Fed lower the interest rates in an effort to correct the market to the upside? It's possible, but Powell has made it clear that he's not going to do so. Powell has also made it clear that he thinks that things are going to get worse. This is part of the big reason that now everybody's discussing this. Time magazine reporting. Can Trump fire Jerome Powell? Trump says, if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast. Believe me. That's what he says. Powell's termination cannot come fast enough, he wrote. This is what everybody's been discussing. And the reason for it, and we discussed it yesterday, is Powell getting political? Well, Powell has commented on this, and he said that's the only thing we're ever going to do. We are never going to be influenced by any political pressure. Our independence is a matter of law, which is true. It should be a matter of law. That being said, sometimes people break laws. This is very much a judgment call at this stage in the game. Is Fed Chair Jerome Powell playing politics, or is he not? I don't know. You've got the European Central Bank cutting rates. You do have a problem with inflation here in the US. You do have tariffs coming out, causing more problems with inflation. So it's really a matter of opinion, and that's the problem here. It's kind of a matter of opinion. How do you determine whether somebody's influenced by political pressure? Unless you have any evidence of so, and there's certainly no evidence of that with Fed Chair Jerome Powell. There's just, you like what he's saying, you don't like what he's saying. What he's doing is making sense or it's not making sense. And right now, generally, I think it's safe to say that what he's doing does make some sense, because there is a risk to doing a Fed put, doing a premature rate cut in an effort to rescue the markets. I think that is a very difficult decision for the Fed to ever make. It's not really a good decision for the Fed to make. It's basically your emergency lever, and you never really want to have to pull it. So is he going to remove the Fed? Can he remove the Fed? I don't know. Legally, the answer is complicated, but untested. No Fed chair has ever been removed by a president. The Federal Reserve Act allows for the dismissal of board members, including the chair, for cause, but that has historically been interpreted as misconduct or incapacity, not policy disagreements. The court would typically not see disagreements over interest rates as interest rate settings as for cause. But again, this is where courts and arguments come into the picture in matters of opinions. Powell himself has also made it clear that he would not go quietly. Asked in November if he would resign if Trump asked him to. He gave a very curt no, which we were watching that live together with you guys. If you were watching the channel, that was a very funny moment. So, look, it's possible. That's basically what we're getting here. Yes, it's possible for the president to get him out of office, but it ain't cut and dry, okay? It ain't cut and dry. So everybody's focused on Powell and the Fed, abolish the Fed, fire Powell. Trump's talking about it. The economy's hurting. The S&P 500 super weak. Dow's down big today. NASDAQ's down a little bit today. S&P 500 showing weakness. Bitcoin totally stuck at these price levels. But I did also want to remind you guys, there is a reason that we are stuck at these price levels and holding strong at these price levels instead of absolutely capitulating right now. Bitcoin is holding strong. Now, a lot of altcoins have gotten hurt pretty darn bad, folks. But Bitcoin is holding very strong at this $80,000 something level. Now, Michael Saylor has come out and said the ETF investors' stronger hands help stabilize Bitcoin. And that is totally the case. And this is always something that we've talked about with cryptocurrency. One thing we've laid out is that in the future, you're going to see crypto go more mainstream. You're going to see institutions and hedge funds and venture capital start accumulating Bitcoin and crypto, but Bitcoin specifically as a hedge against inflation, even though the price isn't actually behaving like a hedge against inflation right now. If it was, it'd be exploding, and it should be exploding. And these venture capitals, these ETF investors, these big money, big dogs, they are buying Bitcoin not with the intention of riding it from $80,000 to $95K and taking profit, not from the intention of buying Bitcoin at $85,000 and just selling it at $150,000. You have a lot of these major investors that have long-term strategies. Warren Buffett has held McDonald's stock for such a long time. You have Warren Buffett's holding Bitcoin in the future for a very long time. People that want to hold these assets for an extended period of time because they like the value proposition of it. Digital gold. If it's really digital gold, you don't have people just panic selling their digital gold or taking a quick profit on people that are buying gold. Countries that are buying gold, big money that's buying gold is holding gold. And granted, sometimes you reallocate from here to there, sure. But this is definitely what's happening right now with Bitcoin. It is holding up very, very strong. There's no doubt about it. It is holding up very, very strong, despite all this uncertainty, despite all this fear. And so it's beautiful. If it don't keep running, dump is going to be insane. You're saying, I don't know what that means. Jerome said that he'd leave if President Trump. Oh, Jerome said he'd not leave if President Trump asked. Yeah, the Fed is a private company. Trump does not control it. No, he does not. No, he does not. Russell does not like the Fed. If America printed its own money, who does it have to pay back? No one. Well, we do have a lot of debt. Treasury bills. That's a whole thing. Appreciate you, Russell. Feeling your love. What else we got in the chat here? Any other thoughts on this? Osiris says the tariffs are hurting my job. Trucking industry is going downhill. That is a bummer. I am not happy to hear that. Todd says good morning. Good morning to you. It is Scott. on his brother's phone, my guy. Crypto runner sweating at the idea of a 72K Bitcoin. It's possible, my friends. Okay. It's very possible. Very possible. I've been talking about it for a long time. It's very possible. But yeah, a lot of these tickers are red today. Italy is kind of cozying up to the U.S., another big trading partner. And then if you Google tariffs today, lawsuits in California, Gavin Newsom issuing a lawsuit against Trump for tariffs. There's a lot of big port business happening in California. Trucking companies, shipping companies hurting. We have a lot of reduced shipments coming into the U.S. Big time. My wife was shopping for my beautiful little screaming daughter today. She was shopping last night for her and said, honey, I want to buy a bunch of these things on, what is it called? And not Amazon. Shein? Is it Shein? What is it? Bunch of Chinese products. Wanted to buy this. I want to buy it now because the prices are about to get jacked because these tariffs are kicking in. She was looking at the Amazon price. The Amazon prices are already spiking up. Prices are spiking up. Shipments are coming in less. If there's less shipments, then the prices of the goods that are here can be more expensive. And the tariffs make everything more expensive. Prices are going up on a lot of things, guys. And there's going to be less shipments. So, yes, the truckers and all these things are hurting. And it's tough. And that's the sad part of this. Is it good for the long term? Could be. Is it painful in the short term? For the markets, yes. For the truckers, yes. For the shipping ports and the big port cities, yes. It is painful. It's painful for a lot of countries. It's painful for a lot of businesses. It's painful. And you can just hope that in the pain, you can just only hope that in all this pain, people will feel enough pain that they come to an agreement and we get these negotiations done. Trump is saying that China is calling a lot since last week's tariff increase. Deal could happen. What does he say here? As soon as 3 weeks. Let's see. Let's see if we can hold him to that 3-week timeline. But yeah, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. I think that you are still bullish on crypto, though. A lot of you guys are probably Gen Z out there. Frankly, I think I'm Gen Z. But younger generations in general are turning to crypto for their retirement plans. I thought this was an interesting study that I wanted to share with you guys. A couple fun stats for you that you should be aware of, just because it's fun, cocktail party discussion. Gen Z is apparently 4 times more likely to own crypto than a retirement account. Almost a third of Gen Z invests in crypto instead of traditional stocks. And roughly 11% of Gen Z have a retirement account, but at least half of them own crypto as well. Gen Z is those born between 1997 and 2012. So those of you guys between the age of what? 28? Is it 28-ish? 27, 28, and like 18 or something like that. They're one of the most crypto savvy demographics. A lot of people are turning to Bitcoin. And I'll tell you this, guys, when it comes to retirement and crypto, Bitcoin, and did I mention Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin for retirement plans. Altcoins to take profit into Bitcoin has always been the strategy. Altcoins can make you a lot of money when the altcoins run if you take profit. Altcoins can be a part of this strategy, folks. There's no doubt about it. But there is also no doubt that the altcoins are harder to do it on. And that's just a friendly reminder for you guys. That is a fact. If you look at data, most of the time, people are better off buying Bitcoin. Most of the time, people are better off buying Bitcoin. And if you're structuring retirement plans, Bitcoin's definitely a good part of those plans. Okay? Let's talk a little bit about this story. The Trump meme coin. Now, the Trump meme coin team withdrew $4.6 million to Coinbase ahead of a 309 million token unlock. This happened yesterday. They did withdraw this money from the liquidity pool. This is the first ever withdrawals that happened. Okay. The withdrawals happened on Tuesday ahead of the unlock. That was Thursday. This is the 3-month anniversary of this meme coin. Yes, the president launched a meme coin on Solana for those of you guys that are just catching up right now. Hopefully you guys already were aware of this. This thing shot up and absolutely got crushed. Take a peek at the chart. Ouch. From $70 down to $7.6. That's what happened to this Trump meme coin. Token unlock, not a bullish thing. Kind of a bearish thing. Can this token come back in the future? Maybe. It's the president's meme coin. People were wondering, though, can the Trump coin pump after the 40 million tokens unlocked? That's like never a bullish thing, guys. Token unlocks are like never a bullish thing. Frankly, I'm impressed that the price of the thing didn't absolutely get demolished on this news. Yeah. A whopping 80% of the project's ultimate 1 billion token supply is earmarked for the project's owners and creator, including Trump himself. Very interesting thing. It's always going to be interesting to take a peek at. But anyway, just news with the Trump meme coin. I know we talked about it a lot, so I want to give you an update there. And it's a good segue into Minister's X account hacked to promote a crypto scam. Government Minister's Lucy Powell's X account has been hacked to promote a scam. House of Commons cryptocurrency. A string of now deleted posts on the House Commons leader account described the HCC coin as community-driven digital currency, bringing people's power to the blockchain. Again, I hope we've learned our lessons, guys, in that when you see these things launch, you're not getting into them, especially when a government account posts about it. Now, you could have made a lot of money on the Trump meme on that first day, but then immediately gotten wrecked, even though it's actually real. This one was a scam. It pumped and dumped quicker than the Trump coin. But it's real, guys. These things happen all the time. You have to be cautious. Look at this. Here's the official post. Whenever you see a gray check mark post about a new meme, generally it's going to pump and it's going to dump. Sometimes it's just straight out a scam. Sometimes it's not, but then it gets accused of being one because it's going to dump anyway. Because like none of these coins that are launched survive. Like none of them survive. The Trump coin didn't even survive, and he was the most bullish catalyst besides crypto ETFs for the end of 2024, and his coin even died. And they even own 80% of the supply, and it got sniped, and it got, insiders got in there. You can blame them for it or not, but it never goes well. Nick Cannon's coin, all these people's coins stink. Dave Portnoy, everybody's coins are terrible. All the memes are terrible right now, except for like Dogecoin and Pepe, which are still not good in price action, still down 70%, but they didn't rug. Okay. Rug is a multi-definition word. Rug is them that is pulling all liquidity or just the price falling these days is what people call a rug. The price goes down. Oh, it totally rugged, bro. It's what we do. It's what we talk about. But there is very bullish news out there, guys. Binance says that multiple governments and sovereign wealth funds have approached Binance about creating crypto reserves. This is not surprising news to me. We've seen Chris, the CEO of crypto.com, also talk about these things. Now we see Binance, the biggest exchange in the world, talking about multiple governments approaching them about creating crypto reserves. We talked about China the other day, talking about taking all the crypto that they've accumulated through all criminal activity going on in their borders, all the crypto they've confiscated, and creating a sovereign wealth fund, a national strategic reserve for Bitcoin and other cryptos potentially off of that. We're going to continue to see this progress in the future. Okay. And not all exchanges are going to make it. Okay. Not everybody's going to make it in crypto. That's the reality of this. We just saw this exchange get shut down. Well, they shut down willingly. The firm said it has chosen a cease and retreat. They're going to stop all their operations and just quit. Because there are allegations that Lazarus Group, you remember these guys? Lazarus Group from North Korea, the North Korean hackers who hacked a lot of money out of Bybit, the $1.4 billion hack, the largest ever crypto hack, I believe it was. Apparently, they laundered those stolen funds through this exchange, and that exchange is going to shut down. This is just a very interesting story. The major exchanges certainly hanging in there because they know there's a lot of great things coming in the future for crypto. We just had a story come out today where the Pantera Capital CEO went on CNBC recently and said that Bitcoin is going to $745 million. $745,000, excuse me, which is a very, very big price prediction for Bitcoin. That is close to Bitcoin flipping the market cap of gold, which I believe Bitcoin could surpass gold one day. If Bitcoin took the market cap of gold today, you've almost got $1 million Bitcoin. I do think that that is possible. But if you think that this is bullish, in this interview, they actually discuss right there from Michael Saylor, he says, I heard 13 million prediction. This man in the red tie right here, CNBC host, said, heard a $13 million prediction from Michael Saylor the other day. You're saying $745,000. Well, which one's right? 13 million or $745,000? I believe that they're both possible. I believe $1 million Bitcoin. I do even believe Michael Saylor in these $13 million Bitcoin ridiculous ideas, which one day, might not be that ridiculous. Okay? Might not be that ridiculous. Yeah, so it sounds ridiculous, but it might not be, especially if Bitcoin's digital gold, okay? If Bitcoin was digital gold and it surpassed the market cap, you already got $1 million. Can it get bigger? It might in the future. Let's see. Let's see how it shakes out. Very bullish, though. Saylor believes that there are very strong hands here with institutions. He's been accumulating. He now owns more Bitcoin than every other country in the world. Not combined, but he owns more Bitcoin than ever. It might be combined. It might be combined. I don't think it's combined. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy owns more Bitcoin than every country in the world, at least individually. And his stock, as a result of that, has outperformed Nvidia, Tesla, Google, Apple, Microsoft. Why? Bitcoin. So when you see the stories saying that multiple governments and multiple sovereign wealth funds are approaching Binance about creating a reserve for crypto, this chart on the screen right now, it's a good example why. Also a good example why Gen Z is turning to crypto, because they're studying up. And I hope we're all studying up on Bitcoin. Looking at the odds for rate cuts, guys, losing our chance of a rate cut in June. Not really much has changed for July. We're still looking at rate cuts in July, but our chances of a rate cut in June have dwindled. At one point, it was a lot bigger, higher than 70%. Now it's down to 60%. Are we going to continue to stair step down and see this continue to trickle our chances of the rate cut? It could. So it's just something to continue to pay attention to. Abolish the Fed? What do you guys think? Powell has made it clear they're not going to rescue the markets. Is that a good decision? Is that a bad decision? Let's get your opinion, guys. By the way, if you want to trade all this awesome volatility going on in the crypto space, there's so much money to be made on trading, guys. You got to do your own research and pick your technicals, your long support, your short resistance. It's quite easy to do. You can sign up for Blowfin using our link in the comments section down below. I like Blowfin a lot. It's super easy to use. It's super intuitive. You can leverage trade. You can spot trade there. You can copy trade. It's pretty neat. And there's a $5,000 sign up bonus for you if you haven't checked it out already. But even though I'm very bullish with this thumbnail and with all these stories that we have to share, except for tariffs and the Fed, with the tariffs and the Fed and the technicals for total market cap, I mean, just on these weekly candles alone, we're at a moment of still high uncertainty, guys. High uncertainty. Got the weekend coming up. We're getting a weekly candle close every Sunday. Sunday. And you will see us probably tap back down to 83 again and maybe have a nice little long opportunity. Or maybe we finally collapse down and come to 71K finally, and we could get on with this bull market. I'm hopeful we can get on this. Shein, yes. And Temu. Shein I was talking about, though. There you go. What else is going on? Okay, let's look at the chat. Russell says, this bull run will be like no other or ever again in the history. This is the time most of the globe is buying in. Millionaires made before. We're the first 5%. Better get a seatbelt. Thoughts on Trump unlock today, tomorrow? Yeah, I have thoughts on it. It's just, honestly, it's a non-event. It could cause, if it's going to do anything, it's going to cause selling pressure. Jackson Crawford, make crypto great again. Yes. How's it going, Dub Proof? What's going on, Russell? Tell the Fed we'd be glad to print our own money from now on. Hand our plates over now. What do you mean the plates? What do you mean by plates? What am I missing there? John 316, sorry. Late. I was at church for Good Friday blessings. Hey, Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. How's it going, John? Blessings to you, brother. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Around Town says, I'm all about making carne asada burritos $5 again. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I went to the grocery store the other day. Dropped $270. It was awesome. But eggs are a lot cheaper. Eggs are a lot cheaper. Russell says XRP will be a top coin fairly soon. I mean, it is now. Rank number 4, baby. Let's go. People don't understand. The Feds asked for $100 billion. They print it up out of thin air, and we pay them back. Plates are... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know the plates are used to print the bills. Okay, I didn't think that's what you meant, but yes. Yeah, we print money out of thin air. You're saying give us back our... Hand our plates over now, like stop printing money? Is that what you're saying? They put that slogan on MAGA hats. That's a burrito thing. That's awesome. I love that. I love burritos, too. I really do. Make carne asada fine. What are you talking about? This chat? Oh, Rajan is talking about a meme in the chat. Throw any questions you guys have at. This is the Q&A portion of these live streams. Just looking through my chat right now, catching up. Crypto Runner says, I got eggs in my cart ATM. You're at the store right now? That's the way to do it. A little bit of YouTube at the grocery store, put on a podcast, put on some crypto report. Baby, let's go. Find those deals, brother. Scott, how's it going? Oh, hey, Scott's back on his phone. He's not borrowing his brother's phone anymore. I have a question about the secret of Satoshi Nakamoto. I probably don't have an answer, but I can try. What do you got? Ray says, imagine if you could store crypto in your walking cold wallet. Test the bot. Do you think about robots being a thing walking among us? I think that it will be a thing, and it's probably going to be a thing. I don't know, in the next, I think it's going to be a commonplace thing in 50 years. I think when my daughter has her first kid, she might have a nanny robot, like a nanny bot or something. Or at least a bot that could prep the bottle or something like that. And I think that's cool as long as they don't overthrow humans. It's a little scary. It is a little scary. Yeah, around town, isn't it strange that the Trump unlock didn't really dip the price? Isn't that strange? Scott's got fresh eggs laid by our chickens every morning. I love it, dude. That's awesome. FTX is trash, Crypto Runner. Of course it's trash, brother. They went under. SPF's in jail. He gone. Total trash. Scott says, I watched a video the other day about a secret leading with the United States and Satoshi Nakamoto in California and his wife and 2 other people. Oh, living in the United States, Satoshi Nakamoto and his wife and 2 other people. What do I think? I think that nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. And I think that everybody wants to write a story about it or come out with a documentary about it because a lot of people want to know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. And so you're going to get a lot of folks that are going to come up with all these things and just connect a couple dots and then try to make a whole theory on how they know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. And maybe somebody does know. I'm sure that somebody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but it's going to be impossible to believe until we actually, have them come out and prove it, which Satoshi would never do. We'll never really, I don't think we'll ever know who the real Satoshi Nakamoto is. Unless if he absolutely he burns all his Bitcoin and when he dies, I think he's still alive. If I had to guess, I think he or she or they is still alive. And they, them. And I think that when they die, maybe that would be the big reveal. At the funeral, perhaps it would be revealed and there'd be some huge story. Wouldn't that be something? Marlon PB says, I think Swee's going to be big. I think Swee's going to be big too. Yo, Eric, how's it going? Interesting, though. Is it interesting? It's always interesting. I love looking at the Satoshi Nakamoto stuff. Zico says, how about Real ID making rounds in America? Real ID. Yeah. I was looking into that the other day myself. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't like any of it. I don't like it. What do you think about Swee, Kip? I love Swee. I think it's good. I do think it's worth accumulating more. Might have some more dips ahead of it if Bitcoin slips more, but yeah, I think it's a good one. I like it a lot. 420 Doge Elon announcement. That would be nice. Oh, yeah. April 18th. 420, 2 days. Day. I don't know why he'd make an announcement, though, on that day. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. Is Ando a good one? Yeah. It's not my favorite, but yeah, it's a good one. Thoughts on Trump coin unlock today, tomorrow? Yeah, no, not a lot of thoughts. Selling pressure, if anything at all. Probably a non-event. Oh, yeah. Happy Easter to all you guys that celebrate it. And have a great weekend, all. If you want to do some trading, again, look for, longs on support. Support's at 83K, maybe a long there. Resistance at 88, at 86, 85, 86 as well. So get a bounce on 83, look at 85, look at 88. Profit on the way up. We could easily slip back down below 83 and tumble. So be on the lookout. Look out for the volatility. You want to do some trading? Sign up for Blowfin. Thanks, BSS. How's it going? I hope you're doing well, guys. Have a great weekend. Again, link for Blowfin down below, up to a $5,000 deposit bonus. Until next time, guys, DCA, HODL, do your own research, my friends. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the weekend. Peace. Deuces.